Okay. All right, sorry about that. We had to do some, they had to do some, well, debugging, I guess. Okay, so we're ready. We did a draw earlier to see who is starting. And the first team is Rohtie and Tapped. And so for this competition, we're actually involving like a hell of a lot of people. We have two commentators, Mr. Lassen Duckers and Mr. Erik Kusma, who will be doing their thing. We also have a couple of gentlemen who are going to perform, you know, the audio part of the evening. Sesh and Phobium are going to play for you through all the older parts of the Shader compo. So Sesh is going to take it away, and then we're going to begin with a countdown. Ola?
Actually, you're going to do the countdown because I had some coke in the throat.
Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, we're going to start. Are you guys ready? 2 seconds. Okay.
Get back to the...
Back to coding.
You're not going to start before...
Like live 65536. Are we good? Okay. So.
What the?
All right. So on a count of 5, I guess. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Thank you, Bent, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the live shader coding competition of the evening. We're starting with Rohtie versus Tapped, and they both have a very dull plasma tunnel.
The interesting part here is that Pat already delivered a bunch of code and is kind of starting and playing down.
Technically, he didn't delete the code, he just commented the code out.
No, that's wrong.
That's Rohtie. Oh yeah, but Tapped just deleted it, called out. Yeah, that's true.
So they're both going, you know, like, kill what's there and, you know, try to see where they can go, I guess.
I wish I had better vision, because then I could see what they are actually writing. But there seems to be a lot of uniforms on that side that are not used.
I think those are the framework stuff.
That's probably the framework stuff, because he didn't actually write that much code. But alright, Rohtie's side has gone black. What does that mean?
Oh, he has a black sphere.
It's a black circle.
Also have some feedback.
That's true. We're working out the sound issues while we are looking at the code from a very long distance.
They both go minimalistic very early here. Also a lot of feedback still.
The code is very tiny, and so is that. There you go. Yeah, we can now read the code, and there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of samplers here on that side.
But there's not a lot of sampling.
No sampling yet.
Oh, here's a loop going on. Like, is that a ray marching loop or whatever is it?
On the other side, there's a lot of ALU business going down. He now has vertical lines increasing in frequency. The frequency is getting very high, Eric. Extremely high.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's blinking.
Oh, it's blinking, yeah. Crowd goes wild.
Well, I'm back on Tapped side. Not much is going on, but Tapped is known for writing a lot of code that doesn't really contribute much to the visual result until the very last minute. And he's lighting a float there right now.
Yeah, there's a loop going on there, 32 iterations. So I'm guessing that's going to be ray marching loop.
Ray marching is the most popular technique on the block these days. Rohtie is going for some old school 2D plasma stuff, I guess.
Yeah. Some kind of waves here.
So far, nothing that couldn't have been done on the C64.
Commodore 64 owns all the coders up here, right?
That is very, very, very true. There's a for loop, but there's 12 iterations on Tapped side.
I saw.
Still nothing to show for visually though.
I saw Tap writing the word cube. going to do a cube.
That's just pure speculation at this point, Eric.
It's just pure speculation, of course. And Rohtie is doing something that is not a cube. Very much not a cube.
Rohtie is now doing a plasma based on the X and Y coordinates. Still pretty basic. There's a dot product. I don't know where, in which dimensions that dot product is interesting.
So the patterns that I see from Rohtie is interesting enough. I wish I could see some animation going on there. But maybe saving that for later.
But time is still not a variable. And if we remember a few, I need to just go back to last year when Tapt was in the finals. He was really losing because what was on his screen was basically nothing.
Yes.
Until like the last 2 minutes,
Yeah.
when he uncommented a few lines and flipped everything around in an instant.
And now it seems Rohtie learned to divide by Z and do a perspective.
Once you divide by Z, things get interesting.
That's exactly when you go from 2D to 3D. And Tapt still hasn't gone from 2D to 3D, but he has a nice warm red cube in the middle of the screen. And I'm guessing he's going somewhere with that.
I'm guessing so too. And for these guys' sake, I'm super happy that they are in OpenGL and not DirectX.
And it seems Rohtie is like spending space and time here. Or, well, there's no time, so I guess spending space. Oh, there's time. So
He's now betting space.
I now have to eat my words. He's spending both time and space, but
Your cap will do, Eric, and your cap is actually a Carl B cap.
yes. Carl is of course, the only supreme group of the Norwegian demo scene, but everyone knows that.
Yeah, you don't have to repeat like the really basics of the demo scene, Eric.
So the loop here from Tapt seems very much like a ray marching loop. He's calling some function called scene, which very much suggests that he's planning on some distance from the scene and trying to find the nearest intersection point. Rohtie on the other side.
I must admit, Eric, that I'm not that savvy in looking at the ray marching code, so for me it just looks like a square.
Well, it seems like Rohtie is totally out of the box in the terms of ray marching. He just is playing around with glitching the screen and kind of trying to give a
Rohtie seems to have some good perspective going on and a lot of noise. Tapt is still at a very, very plain looking square.
Yes.
Now it's adding some time.
So now I suspect we will see some rotation. Also, it's very interesting how Tapt seems to be coding a lot with his mouse. Oh,
And the time was spent animating the color of the cube,
yeah, it's now
or the
cycling.
rectangle.
It's now cycling a bit. Whereas Rohtie is like tearing the frame buffer vertically, or whatever. This looks somewhat interesting.
I don't think there is any post-processing going on. This is just a pure pixel shader going straight into the back buffer, Eric.
Yeah, he's distorting the right direction, I guess.
That's probably what's happening.
But it's still
Because this competition does not, by any stretch of imagination, allow for any sort of post-processing of the back buffer.
that is very
That's
true.
strictly forbidden.
Like in the most of the demos, in like demo compos and like intros and stuff, you do a lot of processing of the frame buffers and things like that.
That's
Blurs
not.
and
That's
things like
definitely
that.
not what you're seeing here.
That's
No.
not going on here at all. Oh, and they both. Oh,
This
changed
is
stuff.
an intimate dialogue between you and the back buffer.
Yeah, an intimate one. Now, Tat made his cubes, multiple ones, and Rohtie made some. I don't know. Stuff changed there. I kind of missed what happened.
Oh, it looks like Tapt has some. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa!
He
This
made it
is
great.
typical Tapt stuff. He now has a lot of perspective going on, and I have a lot of feedback going on.
But he has a moving light source there, which I think is a nice move.
There is some sort of edge if you look at the cubes.
Yes.
I don't think that's like an precise lighting equation. It looks more like a derivative of the background or something because I see an edge all the way around those cubes.
Yeah, I would say that this looks similar to my attempt at doing lighting as a post-process, which in my attempts were not a huge success. I'm not gonna, you know,
Like,
try to judge.
in this competition, I think is a perfectly fair approximation.
Sure.
But we see those edges tapped, and we will judge you by those. Oh, those
Yeah,
are
but
certain.
they're not kind of.
They're rounded now.
Yeah, that helps. And I also actually, like, I actually don't think those were artifacts of the. I think he somehow did those edges by purpose, on purpose.
If he did, I would very much like to see where this goes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on Rothie's side, there is a hallway.
And he's still bending and twisting space,
Now it
making
has a circular
Einstein
mass.
question, you know, like the general relativity equations and whatnot.
Yes, it's a perfect analogy, Eric.
Yes.
I no longer see the edges of these cubes.
They're gone. Rohtie made a circle. An
I would call it
inverted circle.
more like a mask.
Yeah. I feel like Rothie's effect has some kind of teeth. Being like a bit angry.
Tapped scene is very predictable at this point, unless he throws in something that we haven't seen before in like the 30 and 37 seconds we have left.
That is very true.
Then it's a good possibility that Rohtie could add some teeth to his effect. Oh, it's no rotating.
Oh, there's a sphere here, and
It's showing you how to sphere.
yes, exactly. Premier sphere motions. Now Tat decided to remove his rounded cubes. Oh, and he added them back.
Well, now we're talking.
They all intersect, but I'm sure there's a plan with it.
We could say that these are just ray marching artifacts, but you could also say that they're just cool looking.
Now Rohtie is adding some animation to the sphere. Hold on, här kommer det nästa skärm. Det är väldigt vanskligt att
point something or actually point nothing color.
His palm with 2, which is
Multiplying by 2 there. Tapped.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
there's some
Length of something. That's interesting.
oh, Rothie's sphere is like eating your face. I really like the cyclic nature.
The motion of the sphere, I would still call it a circle. Because I have not seen any evidence to the fact that it's actually a sphere of any sort. It's a circle that is covering my face.
Yeah.
But it is a cool circle. Meanwhile, top side, it seems to have become nighttime. Everything is black.
I must say that I'm right now a little bit disappointed in both contestants in the sense that they haven't developed their effects very far.
Well, Eric, we're still at 10.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you remember last year?
That is true, but I do hope that there will be some kind of natural progression going on here.
Yeah. So I think the sort of trick to winning a live coding competition is to save your best trick for the last 2 minutes. Because that's when people feel like they need to change their vote. It's like the last chance. And if you can throw something at them that just changes the look of the scene dramatically in the last few seconds or minutes. No pressure, Tapped or Rohtie.
So I get what you mean, and I don't think it's wrong, but I think so far neither of them, like, you're describing something that is a response to something, and right now none of them are like really pushing the envelope. So contestants, we would really like you guys to step your game up here.
Throw some smooth step in there. And now we can see Rohtie has actually synced the size of the circle to the music.
Yeah.
So whenever there's a bass thing happening, then the circle is bigger.
There's definitely FFT stuff going on here, and there's
That's the texture of the FFT, that's right. And he's only caring about the red channel and multiplying it by 50 to get some serious oomph in there.
it's always important to multiply by 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like Tapped is working on something because he's writing a lot of code here.
It's, as I remember from last year, Tapped is writing a lot of code and he is just activating it at the last second to make the impact.
Yeah.
That's the way to win this competition.
Well, we'll see. Like now he's obviously writing some matrix stuff or like whatever.
And Rohtie has gone all red.
Oh, Rohtie is like now the spawn of Satan with his redness.
We knew that. We knew that.
We all like, yeah.
So Tapped has now been at the grid of cubes for the last 4 minutes.
Yeah.
He must be working on something, and if we can close in on the text he's writing, it's actually rotate, and yeah, well, that's it. It's a rotate function.
Yeah, he rotates along the y-axis, it seems, which is
You know, if you have
probably the most boring axis to rotate.
if you have cubes and you rotate them, you can make a lot of interesting things happen.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Rothie's side.
Oh, but his sphere. Oh, now it's actually a sphere because we can kind of see some kind of surface here. But now it's also translucent, which I think is a really nice
adding
move.
things together.
Oh, he's Oh, this looks very interesting.
I love the perspective stuff happening with the lines there.
I would actually really like to see like some lighting on top of this weird normal map or whatever you could call it.
Tapt is rotating, but he's rotating the entire plane, which makes for very limited information. If he would rotate the individual cubes, I think it would look significantly better.
So we're now closing up to 6 minutes left.
And we're also very low on fireball. Does anyone have any fireball?
I have some beer.
No, that's good. That's okay. Thank you. And Tapt is doing it in the 90s all over again.
I must say though, even though the Tap's motion is kind of like it's a little bit limiting and stuff like that, I actually like the kind of motion of it. The kind of like, I don't know, it's doing something. You know what I mean?
There is something happening, but I have a feeling that if the parameters were mapped the right way.
Oh, I'm sure we're gonna see this go much further than this.
There's still 5 minutes left, and why spill all the beans 5 minutes ahead of time?
That is true. That is very true. Of the other things. Now we also have some redness variation. So, and Rohtie changed his sphere for a square, it seems. This is an unexpected move.
But you know, squares are more likely to win competition than circles.
And also, like, according to a certain 80s tune, it's hip to be square. And yeah, it seems that wanted a circle in the middle of squares.
Okay, Eric, this is a landmark.
Is it?
This is starting to become a scene. Don't make a scene. It's actually a background of, it's increasingly small cubes and a circle in the front, and Tapt has added another dimension, I would say, to this competition.
That is true. There's
another dimension over here too. We're looking at the rotating rectangle.
Yay!
Or no, it's actually what is it called? A square? A square?
It's hip to be square.
It's not a cube. It's a square, but it's in the front of something in perspective, which sort of makes it a three-dimensional object. A big hand of applause.
Yay! Woo! And I would also say like there's only a slight pixel to be added to make it like rotating bow.
I wouldn't go too far in claiming it's a three-dimensional object. It's actually more of a two-dimensional object. But at Tapt's side, it's definitely in three dimension. Is it? I don't know. It's like the background is wiggling and it's still hard to tell.
Yeah.
If the number of dimensions were the winning criteria, then it would still be undecided. But ladies and gentlemen of the audience, you're actually deciding who's winning here.
Yes.
Make sure you pull out your voting website or intranet site. Ola here can probably inform you better on how to vote.
Yeah, well, it's the party website, same one that you use for voting in the music and graphics compos, which is at party.solskogen.no. And obviously you need a vote key to register if you haven't done so already. But if you have registered, you can just go in and vote under live voting.
So it's made as complicated as it can get. There's a vote key and there's a .no domain, and if you're still able to vote, then that means you are actually worthy of voting.
And can probably get a job at Fuse.
It's also true. And then you can get you can probably compete in this competition next year, where you can switch between not rectangles, it's not rectangles, I take that back. It's actually squares and circles.
But we are absolutely looking for competent voters.
Competent voters. Only competent voters are allowed to vote. And we are looking at a lot of code here. I wish it was bigger font. I could actually tell a little bit more. There's the vector 3 there. And the vector 4. And 40 seconds left to make a difference.
I would like to point out that for getting a job at Fuse, we do keep track of if you're voting for the people using the tabs versus the spaces.
Yes, we completely forgot to bring that up, because before the competition we actually asked
20 seconds left, by the way.
do you use tabs or spaces, and one of them totally answered the wrong answer. And if that influences your answer, you have about 9 seconds left to make it count. 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and pick your favorite. And a big hand for both of the hard-working coders here, trying to make those pixels mean something to you. Rohtie versus Tapped, colors versus monochrome. Tabs versus spaces.
Yeah, Tap, how do you feel about showing your effect without the code overlay? There we go. Right, so it's time to cast the final votes. For those who haven't done so already, we'll be closing votes in like 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and voting is closed. So, well, that's not entirely true, of course. Compo is not over by far, but the first round is over, so it's probably time to see who actually won it. So, Steinar, if you would please.
This is unprecedented. Tapped is actually beaten out in the semifinals. Rohtie! Going on to the final round.
We're wearing 45 centimeters, that's quite impressive.
This is unprecedented in the sense that Tapped won last year, and now there's someone else.
And now he's out already and will probably lose his job at Fuse.
This is true.
Okay, so we're going to set up for the next contestants. And who will they be? There we go. So our next contestant should be Ferris from the land of Trump and pickup trucks. And Blueberry.
From the land of Blueberry.
Yes.
So Ferris versus Blueberry. Oh my God, boys and girls. Do you have any idea what you're up for? Woo!
Yeah.
It's Ferris versus Blueberry.
And while we're waiting for Blueberry to appear and to set up, we're going to have a small talk about consistent microphone volume.